So this is the new version, which is version 10, partially completed. This is the Arduino board with the shield on top, and we have the connectors here, which make contact with pins 26 all the way up through 41. On the right side, there's a cable which is going underneath to another connector, and it's connecting to pins 22 through 25. This is the power connector, which will be replaced by the transformer later on, and it's going to my main board. The main board is something that I've been looking at for a long time, which has all the connectors in a long strip, so I could plug in as many connectors as I want along that line, as opposed to breadboards which have only 5 connections, 5 points tied together on each side. So this allows me to plug in, for example, the power cable coming from the Arduino at this point. Then we have the connection which is going through the data bus, or actually the display bus system, which will also be replaced when I receive larger strip boards. And the other one, the other power, is going all the way to the COM1 NAV1 multiplexer board. And also we have our data address bus, actually, which is pin 22 through 25, and these connectors connect to each multiplexer, and others will be tied in as needed. This is the display bus, which is pins 26, 27, 28, and 29, and that's going to our display bus here. These are the outputs going to a 12-pin ribbon cable, which is going to this a multiplexer MUX2 actually, which is connected to COM1 and NAV1 displays, as well as the dual encoders, which is the COM and NAV encoders. This is the main board, which will reduce the amount of ribbons, because other multiplexer boards will be connected in daisy chain fashion. So we have 12 pins here which are connected to our multiplexer for our displays. So these are the clock signals which are going to feed the actual 7-segment displays, as well as pin 29, which ties into those TM displays. And at this point we have the address bus, which is S0 through S3, to connect to this multiplexer. This connector here is tied to this one, which will again daisy chain to the second board. These will tie into the second board as well. The way this particular display system is tied in is that I'm tapping into specific lines on this connector itself. This is the power bus, which powers up the LEDs, the displays. This is the actual encoders that are tied here. As you can see, this is the NAV encoder and the COM encoder, which are tied to this multiplexer. And so basically, each successive board, which is COM2, NAV2, ADF, transponder boards, will be tied in daisy chain into this board which will plug into COM2 nav2, which will plug into ADF, which will plug into the transponder. So this is the way to reduce all of the cables and the ribbon cables which are going to the Arduino and the data bus and the display bus. The display bus and data bus will be tied together into a much wider board, which will allow me to put in the multiplexer and the DM13A chip onto the same board. And from there, all I have to do is cut the traces where I need to split the connectors. So that's basically it for the time being, and more as I come up with it.